Hello,
Hey, it's good to
how's
be
it
back.
going? Community conversations with Gary and Stacy. How do you say the name?
Pelu? Sweet. It's somebody said, is that French?
So we are back, and we wanted to do a simple, what we think is a simple topic,
Yeah.
but it's going to be helpful to everybody. What have you learned so far? You've got 3 children. 17-year-old who's about to go to college, a high school graduate,
It's done.
14-year-old man, and an 11-year-old going on
25.
25. So what would you say you've learned? And I know what I've learned.
Maybe you should go first.
Yeah. So
Okay.
guess what I learned?
Tell me.
Children are human beings.
Okay.
So,
What?
so I've never thought about it. And I think maybe you tell us in the comments if this is what you think. I think maybe a lot of times we think that there are people, and then there are children. We never think about what they have, how they feel, if they have thoughts, if they have emotions.
Well, emotions you should. I mean, that's big.
Basically,
Yeah.
we think that I've always thought
Mhm.
to a fault that, well, they're not people, but they are.
Okay, so like you didn't think that they had thoughts of their own. They wanted to make their own decisions. They kind of wanted to have a say,
You just have a child.
and then they do everything that you say.
Exactly.
So you kind of basically like make robots.
Exactly. you go to the hospital, give birth, and here you are, holding your little robot. And this little robot for 18 years is going to do exactly what you say, and will feel exactly how you want it to feel.
Okay. Well, that changed pretty fast.
No, for real though, because maybe, I don't know, I grew up in a place where, well, I mean, you could express yourself, but there were consequences
Yeah.
for expressing yourself. You could think, but do you really need to say the thought out loud?
So you kind of like fall in line
Yes.
with whatever is in the home, like
Right.
whoever is setting the pace, the rules.
Yes.
You just fall in line with
Yes. Now then you come to America,
that. Mm-hmm.
and we've lived here for 8 years,
Mm-hmm.
and you realize, well, children don't have to do everything you say.
Yeah.
When that reality hits you,
But was this just in America? Did you only like realize it when you got here, or as the kids got older?
I think as the kids got older, I think as our 17-year-old, who is our experiment child,
You did good.
she's the one we're learning everything from, and then we're like transferred to the second born and third born, and we're like, that didn't work with her, so maybe it's not going to work with this one. And then you realize, guess what you realize? That all 3 of them have their own different personalities, have their own interests, have their own,
Yep. So no robots.
So no robots. They are actually people,
Wow.
right? So how do you cater for that? How do you cater for that, for their uniqueness? How do you cater for their beliefs? Because they will have beliefs. Sometimes they will test the beliefs that you have.
Yep.
Right? You're a Christian, yes, but they will taste the beliefs that you have.
Yeah.
So how do you deal with that? So that's a question for you.
How is that my question? My question was, what did I learn? I guess, like you're saying, just you have to kind of treat them as individuals.
Mm-hmm.
And we kind of grew up in a different environment where there was a little more freedom to think and say what you feel to an extent.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't necessarily mean that just because you think it or you want it, it's going to happen.
That's how it's about to be. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but there was room for that. And I think part of that was the fact that my mom is a teacher, so she's done child care, so she was a little more open with that. My dad was not in the house. I don't know if he would have had that kind of view, because he was what in Guyana what they call like he grew up in the country, which is like Berbice country. So he was like, what he says goes.
Yes,
I think this is how I grew up. Have had to some extent.
So then for me, the question is, which I had to ask myself that question and answer it, was, should I respect my children?
Yes.
But that's a real question.
Yeah.
Should I respect my children? Because I mean, they bring it up all the time when we're reading that scripture about fathers don't provoke your children. They do it a lot. I think they stripe at me with that. Should you really respect your children?
And is there an age when it should start?
Exactly.
What did you find out?
Well, you respect your children. You respect them as human beings. You give them dignity. And, you know, you listen to their opinions. You don't have to agree to with their opinions. You watch them and see what they do, but you don't have to. You're not, as much as they're human beings and they can have thoughts and they can make their own decisions, it doesn't mean that has to influence your thoughts and beliefs.
I like what you said with listening to their opinions and stuff, because like Sunday we had like a devotion, family devotion, and it kind of worked itself into more of an open discussion with the kids. So they were talking about stuff that they would do differently, stuff that they would want to see changes in the area. So my youngest talked about me not listening to her. And I think because she has my personality, I kind of assume what she's going to say and which direction she's going in. And I was like, shut it down early. So it's kind of, I get what you're saying, like listen to them. Sometimes they just want to be heard and they just want you to consider what they're saying. So that's good.
They're not trying. So remember, they're also trying to find themselves. So when you don't see them as human beings, you can be a stumbling block to that growth.
Yeah.
You know, because then they need to find themselves. They need to really know, like even that relationship with God, they need to have to know that the Lord is, they need to have an individual experience of God. It's not like
something that's going through
I cannot pass it to them, so they need to be able to discover who God is. And God is so good. All we have to do is just to show them the way, and God is so good that He'll draw them to Himself.
Yeah. That's good. Well, I'm really glad that you found that out.
So
and found it out early.
These people are human beings.
So that was going to be interesting.
Because
and I think also that could lead to rebellion.
Yes.
That can lead to rebellion and just anger.
Because I'm thinking about it. When I was a kid, I think that's probably one of the reasons why I was not an easy teenager. And I think part of that was the fact that I felt like I was not being heard. So I felt like everybody was just trying to tell me, even when I was 19, like I'm now an adult and there's people still trying to tell me what to do, when to do it. And, you know, so I was thinking about it even in terms of like me and you, we talk to the kids about like one of the things we don't like is sleepovers. But even just our 17-year-old, when you think about it, she's about to go to college. So if she wants to go to a party, you know, I never thought in my life I would let my child go, because for me, when I was a teenager, if I asked to go to a party, there were lots of questions, and a lot of times I got a no, a straight no, you're not going. But here we are. This child has gone to more graduation parties than I ever have in my whole entire life.
It really is, especially as they get older. I think what I've learned is as they get older, parenting kind of transitions. So the younger they are, you're kind of like more of a guide. But as they get older, you're kind of transitioning them. And I think she's at that point now where you've raised them enough to trust them. And so you have to give them that freedom within limit to be able to move on and do some stuff that I mean, it's kind of like, oh my God, text me every
She still-
5 minutes kind of
She
stuff.
still is not even letting me talk to her about the birds and the bees.
They don't,
Because
these
she's
kids
like-
already know stuff.
She's like, hey, Dad, not now. Dad. Because I'm like, let's have a chat.
Yeah.
Because I ain't trying to be no 45-year-old grandpa.
Oh no, that's not happening. Nope. So yeah, just I guess for everybody listening, just think about it, what it is that you have learned in your parenting journey, and then comment. Let us know. We can still be learning new stuff.
Yeah. Well, God bless you.
Good.
Thank you for hanging out with us.
Yeah. We don't have robots as kids.
All right.
Bye.